Picture this, the year is 1994, and America is about to witness a trial that would forever change the landscape of the justice system. In the annals of American history, few court cases have garnered as much attention or sparked as much controversy as the O.J. Simpson trial. It was more than just a criminal case. It was a nationwide spectacle, a media circus that gripped the nation for a year and was watched by millions around the globe. But why? Why did this particular trial stir such a frenzy? To understand the magnitude of this trial, we need to consider the person at its center, Orenthal James Simpson, better known as O.J. Simpson, a celebrated football hero, a charismatic television personality, a beloved figure in the public eye. Now imagine this figure, this icon, being accused of a heinous crime: the murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman. The shockwave was palpable, and the stage was set for what would be dubbed the trial of the century. As the trial unfolded, it became more than just a pursuit of justice. It became a theater of racial tension, media influence, and celebrity culture. It was a mirror held up to American society, reflecting its deep-seated issues. The trial was broadcast live, drawing a record-breaking audience. Unprecedented in its coverage, it was the first of its kind, setting a new standard for how high-profile trials were covered by the media. The O.J. Simpson trial was also significant for its impact on the American justice system. It brought forth questions about the fairness of trials, the role of the media, and the influence of race and celebrity status in court proceedings. It exposed the fallibility of the system and started a conversation about the need for reform. Even after more than 2 decades, the O.J. Simpson trial continues to captivate and intrigue. Its echoes can still be heard in every high-profile case that follows, reminding us of a time when the world stood still watching a courtroom in Los Angeles. The O.J. Simpson trial, a trial like no other. June 12, 1994. A crime scene that would set the stage for the most publicized criminal trial in American history. The quiet Sunday evening in the upscale Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles was shattered by a gruesome discovery. Nicole Brown Simpson, the ex-wife of famed football star and actor O.J. Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman, a waiter at a local restaurant, were found brutally murdered outside Nicole's home. The scene was a chilling tableau of violence. Both victims had been stabbed multiple times, the brutality of the attack suggesting a crime of passion. Nicole's dog, a white Akita, was found wandering the streets, its paws stained with blood, leading a passerby to the horrific scene. As detectives began to piece together the jigsaw of events leading to the discovery, a picture of domestic turmoil began to emerge. The relationship between Nicole and O.J. had been tumultuous, marred by allegations of domestic abuse. The couple had officially divorced 2 years prior, but the specter of their troubled relationship loomed large over the crime scene. A trail of blood leading away from the scene and a single bloody glove found at the rear of Nicole's property would become key pieces of evidence pointing investigators in the direction of a high-profile suspect, O.J. Simpson himself. The subsequent search of Simpson's nearby residence yielded a matching glove and further blood evidence, tightening the noose of suspicion around the former sports icon. Yet even as the evidence began to mount, the public struggled to reconcile the image of O.J. Simpson, the charismatic and beloved sports hero, with the brutal crimes he stood accused of. The stage was set for a legal showdown that would captivate the nation and expose deep-seated issues of race, celebrity, and justice in America. With 2 victims and a high-profile suspect, the stage was set for a trial that would grip the nation. 5 days after the murder, America watched as a white Ford Bronco led police on a slow-speed chase through Los Angeles. It was a scene straight from a Hollywood thriller, only this was real life, playing out on live television. The date was June 17, 1994. The white Bronco, driven by O.J. Simpson's friend Al Cowlings, was trailed by a cavalcade of police cars, their sirens wailing, their lights flashing. Inside the Bronco, O.J. Simpson, a revered football legend, a charismatic sports commentator, and the lead suspect in a double homicide, sat in the back seat. He was reportedly armed and suicidal. The chase, which lasted for over 2 hours, kept the nation glued to their television sets, as millions of viewers held their breath. The infamous Bronco chase, was more than just a dramatic spectacle. It was a pivotal moment in the narrative of the O.J. Simpson trial that swayed public perception in a significant way. For some, the chase was a desperate act of a guilty man on the run. For others, it was the panic of an innocent man wrongly accused, who feared for his life and reputation. The chase also marked a turning point in media coverage of the case. The spectacle of the slow-speed pursuit, broadcast live, was a watershed moment for television news, turning the trial into a national obsession. The media frenzy following the chase set the stage for what was to become one of the most watched trials in American history. Simpson, while maintaining his innocence, had become the central character in a real-life drama that was more riveting than any scripted television show. The chase had turned into a symbol of a nation divided along lines of race and class, where perception often overshadowed facts. The chase ended, but the real journey was only just beginning. The public had got a glimpse of the spectacle that the trial would turn out to be. It was a case that would expose America's deep-seated racial tensions and challenge its faith in the justice system. The chase was over, but the trial of the century was about to begin. January 24th, 1995, a date etched in the annals of American justice. The trial of O.J. Simpson begins. The trial was a spectacle like no other. A media frenzy had swallowed the nation whole. All eyes were on the courtroom as the selection of the jury began. A process, usually mundane, had turned into an event of national importance. 12 individuals were chosen, their lives forever intertwined with this sensational case. The key players were introduced. The prosecution team, led by Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden, were tasked with proving Simpson's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. On the other side of the aisle, the defense team, a veritable dream team of legal minds, comprised of Robert Shapiro, F. Lee Bailey, and Johnny Cochran, among others, were determined to protect Simpson's innocence. The judge presiding over the case was Lance Ito, a man who would soon find himself at the center of the most watched trial in American history. The stakes were high, the tension was palpable, the stage was set. The prosecution laid out their case, alleging that Simpson, driven by jealousy and rage, had brutally murdered his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ronald Goldman. The defense, on the other hand, argued that Simpson was the victim of a racially motivated conspiracy, a man wrongfully accused due to his fame and color. The opening statement set the tone for the trial. The prosecution's narrative was built on physical evidence, while the defense relied on poking holes in the prosecution's case, raising doubts about the integrity of the investigation and the possibility of evidence tampering. It was a trial that would divide the nation along racial lines, with many seeing it as a litmus test for the American justice system. A trial that would delve into issues of domestic violence, racial discrimination, police misconduct, and the role of media in the courtroom. And so the trial began. A trial that would last for more than 8 months, with daily broadcasts captivating millions around the globe. As the trial began, no one could have predicted the twists and turns that lay ahead. In every trial, evidence speaks. In this one, a glove almost did. The O.J. Simpson trial was an event fraught with drama, tension, and a mountain of evidence. But amongst all the blood samples, DNA tests, and forensic analysis, one piece of evidence stood out, one item that, for better or worse, became a symbol of this trial: a glove. This was no ordinary glove, mind you. This was a rare, extra-large size Eris light leather glove, brown in color, one of a pair. The other glove had been found at the crime scene, stained with the victim's blood. This second glove was discovered on Simpson's property, leading the prosecution to posit that O.J. had worn them during the alleged crime. But this isn't where the story of the glove ends. Oh no, it's where it begins. The glove became a centerpiece during the trial when Simpson was asked to try it on in front of the jury. It was a moment that would go down in legal history, as the glove appeared too tight, too small to fit Simpson's hand. While the defense celebrated this as a victory, the prosecution argued that the glove had shrunk due to being soaked in blood, then frozen and unfrozen as part of evidence preservation. Additionally, Simpson had worn latex gloves underneath, which could have interfered with the fitting. This glove, this single piece of evidence, sparked debates and discussions. It played into the defense's narrative of a rushed and sloppy investigation and became a symbol of doubt. "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit," Simpson's defense lawyer Johnny Cochran famously declared, making the glove a key player in the narrative of the trial. But the glove wasn't the only piece of evidence. There were the bloody shoe prints at the crime scene, the blood in Simpson's car, the blood on his socks found in his bedroom, all of which matched the victims. The evidence was damning, but the glove was captivating. And in this trial, it was the captivating that held sway. In a case filled with damning evidence, it was a glove that would prove pivotal. October 3rd, 1995. A verdict that shocked the nation. A date etched into the annals of American history. The courtroom was a sea of anticipation, the air thick with tension. The whole world watched, breath held, as the jurors returned to announce their decision. Not guilty, they proclaimed, sending shockwaves through the courtroom and across the nation. The People versus Orenthal James Simpson had reached its climactic conclusion. The former football star, charged with the brutal slayings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman, was free to go. The public reaction was immediate and intense. Many were outraged, believing that a guilty man had just been set free. They questioned the fairness of the trial, the competence of the prosecution, and the integrity of the jury. Others celebrated, seeing the verdict as a victory against a system that had historically been biased against people of color. The trial had been a media circus from the start, and the verdict only fueled the frenzy. It was a story that transcended the typical boundaries of news coverage, permeating pop culture and everyday conversation. The trial was dubbed the trial of the century, and the verdict did nothing to diminish that title. The impact of the verdict was far-reaching, shaping America's perception of the justice system. It sparked conversations about race, class, celebrity, and the media's influence on public opinion. It challenged our trust in the fairness of the legal process and made us question whether justice had truly been served. The O.J. Simpson trial exposed the deep-seated racial divisions in America and forced us to confront our biases. It revealed the power of celebrity and the influence of the media. It changed the way we view the justice system and the way we consume news. The verdict was a defining moment in American history. It was a moment that forced us to confront our ideals and our prejudices. It was a moment that challenged our faith in justice. Not guilty. Two words that would forever echo in the halls of American justice. In the wake of the verdict, a nation is left to grapple with the fallout. The O.J. Simpson trial, a spectacle that gripped the nation from the moment it began, had come to a close. But had it really? The aftermath of the trial was just as significant, if not more so, than the proceedings themselves. The first one to feel the impact was O.J. Simpson himself. Once a beloved football legend and a symbol of American success, his image was forever tarnished. Despite his acquittal, many still doubted his innocence. His career, his reputation, his social standing, all were irreparably damaged. He was later found liable in a civil trial for the wrongful deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman, ordered to pay a hefty sum of $33 million in damages. The families of the victims, too, were left to navigate a world forever changed by the trial. The Browns and the Goldmans had to grapple not just with their losses, but with the public spectacle their tragedy had become. Their quest for justice didn't end with the criminal trial. They continued to seek retribution in the civil courts and in the court of public opinion. The American public, meanwhile, was left to reckon with a trial that had exposed deep-seated issues within their society. The trial had become a cultural phenomenon, a mirror that reflected America's racial tensions, its obsession with celebrity, and its flawed justice system. It sparked conversations on race, media, and justice that continue to this day. The O.J. Simpson trial was more than just a court case. It was a social event that shook America to its core, and its reverberations can still be felt. The aftermath of the trial didn't just affect the lives of those directly involved, but also left an indelible mark on American society as a whole. And so, we are left with a trial that ended, but a story that never truly did. It continues to be a subject of fascination, of study, of debate, because the O.J. Simpson trial, in all its complexity, is a reflection of the best and worst of America. The O.J. Simpson trial, a saga that forever marked the American justice system. The chilling crime scene, the infamous chase, and the dramatic trial itself, each etched a distinct image in the public consciousness. From the onset, we saw how the media played a crucial role in shaping public opinion and how this, in turn, influenced the courtroom proceedings. The evidence, particularly the controversial glove, became the centerpiece of the trial, igniting debates about forensic science that persist to this day. The verdict, met with shock and disbelief by many, demonstrated the power of a well-constructed defense. The aftermath left a lasting impact on all involved, changing lives and the course of justice in America. A story of justice, media, and the power of public perception. This was the trial of O.J. Simpson.